Hello everyone. Now we move to another very important topic in the series of neuroanatomy, that is basal ganglia. Okay. This is one topic which you cannot miss at any cost. Okay. If you have not paid attention even to a single thing till now, basal ganglia is one thing that you need to pay attention. Basal ganglia is implicated in almost all psychiatric disorders. For that matter, whole psychiatry revolves around this subcortical structure. Basal ganglia and limbic system. These are the two areas where no negotiation is allowed. You should know inside out and you should know at par with other clinicians about basal ganglia. Okay. So we will delve deep into basal ganglia. We will try to understand the basic anatomy, somewhat internal anatomy, somewhat circuitry, and somewhat role in the disorders. Okay. And that will be deep enough for you to read and compile from various books because I have done the same. Okay. So we'll be beginning with basal ganglia. You should remember that basal ganglia is the largest subcortical structure. Subcortical means, see, the brain is organized in such a way that on the top there is cortex, then comes the subcortex, and then comes the brainstem. In cortex, you have your frontal lobe, etc. Okay, frontal lobe, etc. In subcortex, you have your basal ganglia, limbic system, amygdala, hippocampus. Okay, and in brainstem you have your midbrain, pons and medulla. Midbrain, pons and medulla oblongata. Okay, and then goes your spinal cord. So this is the basic arrangement of the brain, as easy as you can understand. Okay, this is the most schematic I can be. Fine, all lobes. Great. So in the subcortical structure, what is the largest? Basal ganglia. Okay, so basal ganglia is the largest subcortical structure. Fine. It is collection of gray matter nucleus. Gray matter nucleus. Okay, gray matter nucleus. Then what all role does it has? It has the role in movement, cognition, and many other features, but main role in movement and cognition. Fine. This is just the basic. I will go slow in this lecture so that you understand everything. Now, after the basic introduction, we move to the most important part, which is the anatomy of basal ganglia. And please pay attention. Anatomy of basal ganglia. So, the basal ganglia is divided into two parts, the dorsal part and the ventral part. Most of the times when we read about the dorsal part because that contains most of the features which are important for us. Okay, we skip the ventral part, but then ventral part holds importance for us. Ventral part is divided into ventral striatum and ventral pallidum. You will have to learn this basal ganglia with me in the class itself. So we read that basal ganglia is the largest subcortical structure, collection of gray matter nucleus, and it has a role in movement and cognition. Each line is important here. By the end of the lecture, it should be on your tips, basal ganglia. Okay. Then we are studying anatomy of basal ganglia. Basal ganglia is divided into two parts. The basal ganglia has two parts, the dorsal part, the ventral part. The ventral basal ganglia is further divided into ventral striatum and ventral pallidum. The ventral pallidum contains substantia innominata, which has nucleus basalis of Meynert, and which contains cholinergic fibers. cholinergic fibers. This 4 points very important. I know currently it is not going in your head, neither will it go, I know. But then let me try and make things clear for you, and then you can easily gulp it. Just remember that there is basal ganglia. We have divided basal ganglia into two parts. One is the dorsal part, one is the ventral part. In ventral part, again there are two things. One is ventral pallidum, one is ventral striatum. In ventral pallidum, there is a place known as substantia innominata. Substantia innominata contains this area which is nucleus basalis of Meynert, and this nucleus basalis of Meynert has cholinergic fibers. Cholinergic fibers means the neurotransmitter here will be acetylcholine. Okay, acetylcholine. And why is it important? Because if they ask you area of basal ganglia impaired in Alzheimer's, so area which is impaired is cholinergic fibers in the nucleus basalis of Meynert, under the substantia innominata, under the ventral pallidum. So whatever out of 4 you get in the option of Alzheimer's, ticket, okay, that would be your answer. Okay, got it? Great. So now moving to ventral striatum. Now we are discussing this area, ventral striatum. The ventral striatum, it has two main parts. One is nucleus accumbens and the other is olfactory areas, olfactory tubercle you can say. And this ventral striatum, both the parts are related in the reward pathway. Reward pathway, basically reward cognitions. Okay, so nucleus accumbens and olfactory tubercle, the main function is reward pathway. Reward pathway, pleasure, motivation, etc. Pleasure, motivation, etc. Fine. So in the ventral striatum we have nucleus accumbens and olfactory tubercle. Okay, this you have remembered. Now coming to the dorsal part of the basal ganglia, which we actually consider basal ganglia. We usually don't read the ventral basal ganglia because dorsal is main for us. So dorsal basal ganglia is composed of three things. Basically these three things together are called dorsal basal ganglia. One is corpus striatum, other is amygdala, and third is claustrum. Okay, these three things together are known as what? Basal ganglia, this dorsal basal ganglia. Okay, now understand. If they ask you what is corpus striatum is caudate nucleus plus putamen plus globus pallidus. Globus pallidus. Try and understand. Caudate nucleus plus putamen plus globus pallidus form corpus striatum. Corpus striatum plus amygdala plus claustrum form the dorsal basal ganglia. So if they ask caudate nucleus plus putamen plus globus pallidus plus amygdala plus claustrum, these are the 5 components of the dorsal basal ganglia. Okay, now MCQs. Caudate nucleus and putamen together are known as striatum or Neostriatum. This is your first MCQ. Which of the following is not a component of Neostriatum? Caudate nucleus, putamen, globus pallidus. So answer is globus pallidus. Okay? Okay? Then remember, putamen and globus pallidus together is known as lentiform nucleus. Globus pallidus is also of two types: globus pallidus interna, globus pallidus externa. Okay, interna, externa. See, basal ganglia is one place where you will have to study more. than what you know, and you have to get out of your comfort zone in basal ganglia. But if you study this from here, you will not need to pick up any of your books, be it your Pinnell, be it your Carlson's, be it your any book that you read. Okay, I've just compiled from everything and then put it in the flowchart form. Okay, so we were discussing what Neostriatum we have done, Lentiform nucleus we have done. Okay, and if they ask you what is paleostriatum, paleostriatum is just the another name for Globus pallidus. Paleostriatum is just the another name for Globus pallidus. So this is the basic anatomy of basal ganglia. I know it has gone over the head. We will discuss once you give me time. We will discuss. So we were discussing basal ganglia. We discussed that basal ganglia is divided into two parts: ventral basal ganglia and dorsal basal ganglia. Then ventral is further divided into ventral striatum and ventral pallidum. Ventral pallidum contains an area which is known as substantia innominata. This area, substantia innominata, has a collection of neurons. So it will be known as nucleus. So it is known as nucleus basalis of Meynert. And this nucleus basalis of Meynert has which kind of neurons? Cholinergic neurons. Cholinergic means which neurotransmitter? Acetylcholine neurotransmitter. And this area gets affected in which disorder? Alzheimer's. So for Alzheimer's now, you can remember two things. If they ask you in Alzheimer's which part of the cortex is most commonly involved, that is entorhinal cortex. Very important. Okay, entorhinal cortex, ERC. And if they ask you which part of the basal ganglia is most commonly involved in Alzheimer's, then the answer is nucleus basalis of Meynert. If they don't give nucleus basalis of Meynert, they will give you substantia innominata. If they don't give you substantia innominata, they will give you ventral pallidum. Because it's like I stay in India, at Dehradun, at racecourse, in my house on second floor. Okay, so it's like this. So if they don't give you this, they will give you this. If they don't give you this in option, they will give you this. If not this, then they will give you this, and all will be correct. Okay. So Alzheimer's. So from here only you have learned two more MCQs for yourself, and you have expanded your knowledge about Alzheimer's disease. That in Alzheimer's, which area of the brain is gone? That is entorhinal cortex. And which area of the basal ganglia is gone? That is nucleus basalis of Meynert. Fine. Coming to ventral striatum. Ventral striatum, they will ask you only one thing. Ventral striatum, what is the function? The function is reward pathway. See, the role of basal ganglia is in motor movements and cognition. In the cognition, reward cognition, the remembrance of reward, okay, pleasure, motivation, etc., all comes from the basal ganglia. So they will ask you what are the two parts of ventral striatum. One is nucleus accumbens. You will at least find 5,000 times in your textbooks if you read the standard ones. And the olfactory areas. Okay, this is the ventral part that we have taken care of. Now comes the dorsal part, and dorsal part you have to take care of anyhow. See, dorsal part of the basal ganglia comprises of three main things, three main areas. One is corpus striatum, other is amygdala, and the last is claustrum. The last one is claustrum. Fine? Understood? Now, corpus striatum is further composed of three main areas. One is caudate nucleus, other is putamen, And third is Globus pallidus. Globus pallidus. Okay. Caudate nucleus and putamen together are known as striatum, and also known as Neostriatum. Putamen and Globus pallidus together is known as lentiform nucleus. Lentiform nucleus. And Globus pallidus. What is the other name of Globus pallidus? That is paleostriatum. Paleo means old and neo means new. So new striatum is caudate nucleus plus putamen. Old striatum is Globus pallidus. And just for your understanding, Globus pallidus is divided into Globus pallidus interna and Globus pallidus externa. Okay, and this all combined, this whole page combined forms what? This forms your basal ganglia.